Okay, so in this video we're just going to go over how we're going to rig this character, this human character, and apply some motion capture data to it. So scrubbing through the timeline, we can see this skeleton has some motion capture data applied to it, and that's just from this skeleton taken out of Motion Builder that's just got the motion capture data on it. So first off, what we're going to do is we'll just hide the first skeleton, and we're going to create the rig. So first what we'll do is we'll start with the presets, and we'll just go to the human preset and just generate that. And we see the preset has been made, but it's the wrong scale. So what we can do here is we can either select the sphere control and move up in the hierarchy, or again we can do that through the GUI just by going to spine tab, making sure I'm back, and then selecting the root. And I'm just going to go in the front view and just by eye I'm going to scale this up. So that's looking to about the same scale now. Again, select the root, and we'll go in the side view and see how that looks. And now what we can do is we can go ahead, and what we'll actually do is we'll just get the model in a layer so we can't select it. So I'm just going to select the hierarchy and add everything. So that's now templated. So what we're going to do is to start moving these sphere controls into place. Move to the arms, or the legs even. Got the front view. And I'm just going to pause the video and go ahead and move these all in position. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and moved all those sphere controls in position, and it didn't take more than a couple of minutes. So we can see that they're all in place now, and using the mirror settings we're able to do that quite quickly. I've just removed some of the fingers because we don't really need them for this, because there's no mocap data for individual joints on the fingers or the toes, so we don't really need them. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and convert this pre-rig into actual joints now. So we'll start off with the arm, and we'll start converting these. And for this we're just going to add IK, and we'll leave it just as IK for the moment. Go to the leg and start converting these, orienting the joints and adding IK. For the head, there isn't really a head, so we could actually just go ahead and delete that limb. So even that was part of the preset, we can still go ahead and delete unwanted limbs. And then we'll go to the back and we'll just add IK, and we'll make that stretchy. So now we've got all that set up. What we can actually do in here, again it's not connected yet, so moving the spine isn't going to move the legs and the arms. So what we're going to do in here is just go to the arms, connect, and you can see that 09 is the top joint, so we're just going to connect. Go to the legs, connect, we want that on the first joint, so just double click and connect. So now this rig is fully connected. We can see in the outliner over here that all the different controls are all inside their own little character node. It's all been parented up correctly. You can see the global control down here contains all these different systems automatically. So now what we need to do is we'll bring this model back. All I'm going to do is go through skin, this rig to the actual mesh of this. So what we can actually do in here, the skin is still work in progress. As mentioned, it's still in contingency as it wasn't part of the actual proposal, but you can see in here, just by refreshing that, going character node meshes, now it's going to add all these different meshes that are inside this character node. So we're just adding the meshes that we need to skin with. So I'm just going to pause the video here and skin this character. Okay, so what I've actually gone ahead and done there is just cleaned up this mesh a bit, so this mesh is all one polygon mesh now, and we're going to skin this. So what we do in the skinning tab, we just select the joints we want. So we want all the spine, all the arms, and all the legs, and we just want the character node meshes. So that mesh is inside there, so we'll select that, and we're going to just run the skinning command. So for this, just click, you can see it's automatically selected what we had in the list. We want the selected joints, closest distance, and for this I'm just going to use heat map, which is new in Maya 2011, and we'll just apply, and some of the geometry in there isn't going to work with heat map at the moment, so we'll just go with closest distance for the moment. And now we can see in here, moving this character rig about, how quick that has automated the process. So again, the skinning tab isn't part of the proposal, but because of popular demand it's just been added in there to quite quickly select the joints that have been made. And this isn't going to be an ideal skinning. You know, you need a bit more time to edit this skin, but for the purposes of this video we're just going to go ahead and see how this works with the motion capture data. So we can just see in here how all of this is now working quite well. Just with that default skinning, you can see how well this rig is actually working together. So moving the centre of gravity control, so what we'll do, we'll just move these pole vectors forward. You can see how all that is now connected up, and this would have usually taken quite a lot of time to set up, but it's all connected, and using the preset, it's used the preset connections, so we can see how well this is, or how this actually works. So just setting that character up has taken probably less than 10 minutes just to set up and skin that character. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video and just go through connecting this to the motion capture data. Okay, so what we've done there is just gone ahead, gone through, just to show the mocap, what we've actually done is just constrained the mocap rig, well, we've constrained the new rig to the mocap skeleton. So the skeleton is now driving our character, and as before we can see that the character is skinned. So the mesh is skinned to the new character rig, and if we play that back, in here we can see how that data has been applied straight onto that new character rig. And how quite seamlessly it's actually done that, because at the start we were able to scale the rig and match it to the skeleton, the skeleton mesh. So now applying that mocap data, those two, the skeleton is almost identical in scale to that new rig. So you can see how quickly mocap data can be applied to the rig and how compatible it is with motion capture data. So what we could do here is we could just actually start going in, we could select these pole vectors, we could animate some of these controls, we could bake the animation data from the skeleton to the rig, so that way we've got the animation on the rig, and then with that we could start adding stretchy attributes, so we could do all sorts of different things in here. So once that's baked to the rig, we could start editing this, so start adding things on top of the motion capture data and start refining it. So we could, if the motion capture data puts its foot through the floor and that wasn't attended to in the cleanup, we could then just edit the actual animation that's on these controls once it's been baked. So that's just a quick look to how we can generate a rig to a motion capture data skeleton, and then apply a quick skin, and then apply the mocap data back onto the new rig and retarget that motion capture data onto the rig. And this has been really quick, so you'd probably want to spend a lot more time refining this and getting it the correct scale, but this just shows how quick we can apply this motion capture data to this skeleton.